5:45. Tomorrow morning we're davening at 6 because we're laning. Now for a quick Devar Torah. In the negotiation, Eliezer goes to get a wife for Yitzhak, and he has to negotiate with her brother, with her family. So the question is, okay, he's negotiating with them, and he doesn't bring up a basic fact about Abraham or Yitzhak. He doesn't say, your daughter will be married to a great tzaddik who's the son of a great tzaddik. You know, it's like, what greater thing could he have said about Abraham and Yitzhak? That they were both the greatest tzaddikim of their generation. And he doesn't bring it up. He says, oh, he's an extremely wealthy man. Her father-in-law is one of the wealthiest men in the world. And she will be in a house of great wealth. And that's when her brother says, hey, I want to get in on this. It tells you something about sometimes how we have to negotiate. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. What matters is how the person perceives how they will benefit from it. Hmm?
100%.
You know,
He didn't care about the tzaddik. He cared about the money.
he cared about the money. It's everything.
You have to know who you're talking
You have to know who you're negotiating with. If you have been negotiating with somebody who was a spiritual person who would have said, hey, I want my daughter to be in this family because they're such great tzaddikim. But he knew that he wasn't negotiating with such people. He was negotiating with materialists. They only cared about how much money can I get out of this. And as an afterthought, they asked Rivka, do you want to go with this guy? I mean, and only then could she did when she said yes. But Rivka wasn't going with Eliezer because of the money. She realized that she was marrying into a family of tzaddikim because she was on a much higher spiritual level. But it's the way that we have with negotiating and things today. Uh, we have to realize that certain politicians, they won't do anything for us because we're right or anything like that. They're looking at poll numbers. They're looking at how will I succeed in the polls? Will I be reelected? Who will give me money for my campaign? That's how they look at life. They're a lot of our politicians have to be very materialistic. And also, if you know, during World War I, Jabotinsky fought to have the Zion Mule Corps, have a group of Jews fight for the British during World War I. He didn't do it because he agreed totally with the British or anything like that. He knew at the end of the war, there would be discussions, and what did you do during the war? How many men did you lose? The same thing in World War II, the Jewish Brigade was made because at the end of the war, there'd be negotiations, and you'd have to show what you did. They didn't care about the rightness of the cause. They didn't care about anything like that. They cared about what did we get from you? Why do we owe you this? So this is what Eliezer is pointing out in his negotiation with Rivka's family. They're totally materialistic. They don't care about anything but their own personal wealth. So like as David pointed out, you have to know who you're negotiating with and base your negotiations on that. Something to think about. Hmm? Let's see, just a second.